Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Doss here. It is the next announcement day. We've got a short here. I haven't watched it yet. I think we should just get right into it and see what this is. Let's go. What the fuck?
It slips into your darkest memories.
The Observer's back.
Each stolen fragment.
Wait, no, this is the
becomes
actual
a weapon.
old announcer.
Your fears, the tools of your suffering. It feeds on your mind's hollow echoes, growing in the dark places where light once lived. It shows you a world stitched from whispers, where your thoughts
What
fracture and
is-
dissolve into delusion.
What is happening?
An ancient being, the embodiment
Yeah,
of
the entity.
unspeakable evil. It lures its prey deep within, tearing through the fabric of reality.
I don't know what this is so far.
For reasons no one dares to comprehend. And you'll never escape. You belong to it.
What? No matter how close you think you've come, the true... I can't read what that says. Let's head to Twitter and see what their tweet says. I don't recognize that fully. No matter how close you think you've come, the truth behind the entity remains shrouded in fog. Are we gonna get more info for the entity? This is... Hold on, wait a minute. What the hell? This is like big Train to Busan stuff. I mean, here's entities corruption all around here. I can't read what this graffiti says. Blood rain. Bunch of mannequins in the background. Bunch of shattered glass. This is definitely not the same person right here. He's falling into the void. You see the entity claws. You see a bunch of sinew. I don't know what this is. I'm curious. Let's see what's in the news here. The link that they have here. Oh, the entity unveiled, a guide to Dead by Daylight's eldritch horror. Excuse me? It's a new blog post. Okay, let's go ahead and take a read. It's 3 minutes. Before the killers, before the survivors, there was the entity. Its presence is felt throughout the world of Dead by Daylight, manifesting in the gameplay and overarching story. If you've undergone a trial, you've likely seen a spider-like limb reaching down from above to claim a sacrifice. Have you done a deep dive in the various fragments of lore for deeper insight into the strange and terrifying being? Yet with every discovery comes a new question. No matter how close you think you've come, the truth behind the entity remains shrouded in fog. How can one ever hope to gain an understanding of the unknowable? All we can hope to do is interpret the breadcrumbs we've been given. Cosmic horror incarnate. The entity is far more ancient than we ever suspected back home, and most of our theories and conjectures were wrong. The rich presence of auric particles in cells suggests it is one of the original ones, an ancient Arcus 54. To understand the entity, one must begin with the concept of cosmic horror. This horror subgenre revolves around beings beyond human comprehension, To look upon one such being would shatter your mind, break your spirit, and render you a blubbering mess, if you're lucky. The entity is no different. Ancient in origin, cosmic in scale, much about it remains unknown. What little information we have was collected by a mysterious character by the name of the Observer, who put forth his own theories. The entity is the cosmic embodiment of evil, he states, in a log titled Arcus 142. Back home, we witness how its very presence turned worlds inside out, how it seems to remove or extinguish any sense of empathy or compassion within communities, how it brings people to the brink of madness and, well, pushes them in. An interesting theory to be sure, driving him to the conclusion that the entity sustains itself in the emotions of its prey, thereby creating a cycle that facilitates that process. Enter the trials. The entity curses these innocents with an endless game of life and death. Each death brings an awakening into a fresh hell where the hunt begins again. I am but a mere puppet in this grim theater. Benedict Baker, Entry 1. Dead by Daylight's gameplay revolves around a cycle of trials in which killers hunt survivors with the aim of sacrificing them to the entity. Survivors can thwart these efforts by escaping through a pair of gates, only to find themselves right back where they started. What are the significance and greater implications of this process? Consider the various emotions each victim must experience over the course of a trial. The thrill of the hunt, the highs of escape, a fleeting hope like a surge of electricity, the sick satisfaction whenever the light leaves a survivor's eyes. It's speculated that everything that they feel over the course of a trial somehow sustains the entity, though many questions remain. Does it derive a cruel pleasure in the suffering of its chosen? Or is it simply feeding without thought, as a whale might feast on plankton? And perhaps most intriguingly, are its victims chosen for a reason? It is torture and not death it seeks, as there is always an escape. Perhaps it feeds off our hope, as it seems to offer it to us before crushing it cruelly at the last second. With each death, I feel myself weaken, a little piece of my soul devoured by the darkness before I awake. I fear, eventually, that I will lose hope. I wonder what this dark entity will do with me then. Benedict Baker, Entry 17. Regardless of the entity's intentions, a simple truth remains. Once you find yourself drawn into the fog, not even death is an escape. There we have it. That is the second blog post. Extremely, extremely interesting. Oh, and there's another series of numbers right here. So if you remember from the last video I did, talking about the last little tidbit, we have another code here, 5077386-489. Huh. I want to check something really quickly, because the last code, I didn't mention in my last video, but the last code was divisible by 13, which has made a lot of people speculate that what we're getting is Jason. So I want to see if this is also divisible by 13. 386,489 divided by 13. It is not. It is not divisible by 13. Interesting. Huh. We still haven't really figured out what the last code is. So I'm curious. I'm assuming every one of these teasers we're going to get for the foreseeable future until the anniversary is going to have a series of numbers underneath it. This trailer specifically, though, is not what I was expecting. You can see Jane Romero in the background there as well, but we have a distortion of reality. We have whoever this individual is freaking out in the subway. Everyone ends up disappearing. The subway goes completely pitch black and dark. And he ends up walking in the dark. However, I do want to mention here, because I noticed this as I was watching, He's wearing a beanie outside, but in this section here, he's not at all. Everything about his outfit is the exact same except for this, except for him wearing a beanie. Does he have the same headset as well? He does. You can see him getting, like, the world is distorting, blood rain is falling. I'm assuming his world that he's in is being taken by the entity, similar to the ending of the casting of Frank Stone, which I'll have a clip of that playing here for you guys who are not aware. But you can see here as well, like, fractured glass of him, and off to the side was we see like little shadow creatures here. We had one off to the side, at least more readily being seen in the Twitter version. You can see in the cracked glass panes there's this shadow creature here. We have quite a few around as well, in distorted images, different moments of him as well. I also want to point out we got the original trailer voice back. We haven't had this voice actor be a part of any of the promotional content for Dead by Daylight in a very long time. So I'm very, very curious. It's not the voice of the Observer, but we do have a mention of the Observer as well, which the Observer has gone missing in the lore for Dead by Daylight. He's, like, literally gone missing. But we see this specific character get pulled in. I don't recognize the character immediately. This is a crazy theory. Call me polyester putting my tinfoil hat on. But what if this random guy here is the Observer, just much younger? Because this is not Julian from the tomes. His design is not consistent. In the beginning, he doesn't have a beanie. He's got a headset. He's got glasses, and here he doesn't have glasses, but then he's got his glasses back again right here. So very interesting, very curious. That's everything that they're posting today, from the looks of it. I'm very curious. I know a lot of people are like, oh, is this it? Is this Pennywise? And, like, it could be. The whole article here mentions eldritch horror, and Pennywise himself is an eldritch horror. And the whole act that they've done is very reminiscent of, like, how you are with Deadlights, with it being taken. The thing is, it would be a crazy get if it is Pennywise, because Stephen King has famously not want anything to do with any video game. So I'm curious. I'm curious if this is teasing Pennywise for the anniversary, or maybe for a later chapter, because I do want to mention with FNAF, it was announced way in advance. It was announced, like, I think, like 7 months beforehand. So this may, if this is a tease for Pennywise, they could announce it, and it could not be the anniversary. It could be a chapter later on in the year, so that doesn't get, spoiled by leakers, or maybe that's in the contract of, like, hey, it needs to be known by this date. I don't know when I'm going to be slotting this in the video. This is future DOS. It was just brought to my attention. Thank you, Polly. This trailer ends with a very specific phrase that I completely missed. I'm going to have it play again right here so you can hear little thing.
And you'll never escape. You belong to it.
The narrator does mention you belong to it. And there's a lot of emphasis on it. Now, you can debate if this is literally it or Pennywise or whatever. Again, I'm going to probably slot this at the end of my most recent, like, at the end of, like, the last little junction I did, because I think this might actually be a teaser for a future chapter. kind of like the FNAF effect. But that's really interesting. That's something that I think is intentional. So if we are getting Pennywise in Dead by Daylight at some point, that is massive. That is incredibly huge because Stephen King is famously very much against video games, but that is crazy. Who knows? But I think that's going to be it for me today. A lot of speculation, a lot of questions that need to be answered, but I want to know from all you guys watching, leave down in the comments below, what do you think? What do you think this all means? Do you think that this is a tease for Pennywise? Do you still think it's going to be Jason? Are you excited for the anniversary? This is unprecedented hype. This is the 10th anniversary. So please do let me know down in the comments below. But if you're new around here, hit that like button. I make Dead by Daylight content as often as possible, mainly whenever news goes live. I try to keep you guys informed, stuff like that. But leave a like if you like the video. If you're new around here, hit that subscribe button. And as always, I hope you all have a good morning, afternoon, and evening. Goodbye, everyone.